If you've ever been to Dubai and you think that the UAE may become your second home, in today's video I'm going to share 5 things that surprise women in the United Arab Emirates. So if you're European or American, I'm pretty sure that at least 3 of them will be completely unexpected. Hi, I'm Aneta. I've been living in the UAE for over 7 years, and on this channel I share what life really looks like from the perspective of a woman who calls Abu Dhabi and Dubai second home. Okay, let's jump to the topic. Your visa depends on your job, not your passport. In the UAE, foreigners don't receive citizenship, so your right to live here is usually tied to your employment. Even if you're born in the United Arab Emirates but your parents are from elsewhere, you will get your parents' nationality, but you cannot become Emirati and be the UAE passport holder. Of course, there are programs like the Golden Visa that allow you to obtain long-term residency as an investor or through specific qualifications, but the vast majority of people here are on employment-sponsored visas. If you change your job, your visa status changes as well, so you have to keep it in mind. And surprisingly enough, this was something I really had to explain to one of the immigration officers when I traveled to Europe. Actually from Europe last time, as they didn't understand why I'm not a UAE passport holder despite living in Dubai for so long. So yeah, here you just don't get citizenships. Anyways, on the back of your Emirates ID, it actually states your occupation and the company sponsoring your residency. And fun fact, a few weeks ago, some women actually went viral on social media, to be more specific on Instagram. They were just showing their Emirates ID, and under occupation it literally said housewife.
Because it's iconic, and I love to do iconic shit.
Healthcare depends on your insurance plan. I don't know if this is surprising for people from all parts of the world, but it's definitely surprising for many Europeans I've met. In many European countries, people think insurance is just insurance. You either have it or you don't have it. But here you really need to check what your policy actually covers. For example, maternity care or childbirth is often not included in basic packages. And very often health insurance for women is significantly more expensive than insurance for men. So you have to keep it in mind. When you move here, you don't ask, do I have insurance? You always have to ask, what exactly my insurance covers? That's a big adjustment if you're coming from a public healthcare system, because we are not used to it. Okay, let's talk about maternity leave. Since we are already on the topic of pregnancy, maternity leave in the UAE is much shorter than in many European countries. I'm not sure what it looks like in the US, but in the private sector, in the UAE, maternity leave is 60 days, 45 days fully paid and 15 days half paid. It can start up to 30 days before the expected delivery date. So while I was doing my research for this video, I have found info on paternity leave as well, and it's 5 working days for fathers. So for many women moving from Europe, this is one of the biggest differences. And that leads me to the next point. What actually changes how women see motherhood is the fact that in the UAE having a nanny is very normal. It's not unusual for families to hire a live-in nanny shortly after the baby is born. So many nannies or maids have their own room with a separate entrance, and they stay with the family for years. It's not really seen as a luxury here, more as a standard that many families aim for. I don't know how it is in your country, but in mine, having a nanny who actually lives with you is definitely considered a luxury, not a norm. And fun fact, when you look for a new house to buy or for rent, the maid's room is not included in the total number of rooms. It's always described as 2-bedroom plus maids or 3-bedroom plus maids. In my home country, they even call a living room a bedroom to make it look much better on paper. So yeah, that's a huge difference. Another thing that really surprised me in the UAE is the fact that being a stay-at-home wife is fully accepted. While in many Western countries there's a strong pressure for women to build careers, split everything 50-50 with their men, and be financially independent, the UAE feels different. Here it's socially accepted whether a woman chooses to build her career or support her husband's career and focus on home life. No one looks at you strangely regardless of which model you choose for your life. So yeah, those are things that really surprised me here. And when I go to Europe, sometimes I have this reverse culture shock, you know? As I said before, I don't know what many of those aspects look like in other parts of the world. I just know that the things that I actually stated here are not very typical in Europe. So if you're European or if you're American, I'm sure that those things will surprise you as well. And those are definitely all those aspects that you have to consider before packing your things, before jumping on the plane, before moving to Dubai or to Abu Dhabi or in general to the UAE. It's always good to do your research before you move to a specific country. And I believe that those are the topics that people typically don't cover on the internet, on social media. So, you know, when you open your Instagram, you typically see, you know, fancy restaurants, fancy places in the UAE, because we have plenty of them. But the real life, a normal life, is not always about fancy restaurants and beach clubs. So you have to keep in mind that when you move to the Middle East, when you move to the UAE, certain aspects of your life will actually change. And those are just a few of them. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if any of those aspects actually surprised you, because I was genuinely surprised when I moved here. I don't know about you guys. I would also appreciate if you subscribe to this channel, as this channel is still quite new, so you will help me grow. And see you in the next video.